Hey there, Alan from Ural Junkie. How's it going? Hey, today we're going to change some oil. We're going to change the oil in the engine, the gearbox, and the differential. But before we do that, let me introduce you to some of my friends. Well, here they are. They have volunteered to help out today. So I thank them. They're going to come in real handy, and let's get going. And to drain the oil, we're going to use my old Harley CATS can. Nice thing about this is that I can drain both the transmission and the engine at the same time. The really nice thing about Ural is all the drain plugs are 17 millimeter, and they're all the same. They're completely interchangeable. So the engine is warmed up, rode it around this morning. So these are the two plugs. This is one of them, and then the transmission is right here. So let's pop them out. There goes one. And then we'll pop the other one out. And just to note that the engine, transmission, and differential are all independent, so you can change the oil in the engine and not the transmission or differential or any combination of the above. So let's think about taking out the oil filter now. So for the oil filter, we have really a couple choices for the wrench. We can use a regular old oil filter wrench, or we can use a custom oil filter wrench like this one. This is currently in the mini mode. Let me transform it into the regular size. So here it is in the regular size. This particular oil filter I keep in my toolkit. So let's pop off the oil filter. So the oil filter wrench just fits in the grooves of the oil filter. And again, this is a man filter. Oops. And it's real easy to take off. Okay, that's the oil filter. Okay, let's take a look at the drain plugs. Got a little bit of swarf on there. Let's take a look at it and see what it is. Always nice to feel it. Mostly dirty oil, a couple of flakes in there. It will clean this off. Check the washer, make sure it's good. Looks fine. Okay, set this aside and let's look at the other one. This one is pretty clean. Looks really good. Clean it off. I swear the first time I changed the oil on the transmission, I was expecting to find big chunks of gears in it, since it shifts like it does. But to my surprise, it didn't have big chunks of gears. It was relatively clean. So these are all cleaned up, are ready to pop back in. And let's do that. So again, these drain plugs are exactly the same. Same with the differential. They're all interchangeable. So let's pop these back in, and we're just gonna snug them down. I'm sure there's a torque spec for them, but that's how tight I am tightening them up. Then let's put an oil filter on it, and the front part is done. Then we'll do the differential. These are the man filters that I use. They seem to work really well. Haven't had any problems with them. Pull out a new one. Then I'm gonna grab some dirty engine oil. I'm gonna take the oil and put it on the gasket. That's looking good. Okay, spin her on. Now when you get to the end and it's nice and snug, tighten it only by hand. Don't use a wrench on it. Okay, that's done. Now let's throw some oil in it, and then we'll get to the back. Okay, to put oil in this, we're going to take out the dipstick, and then we will also take out, go for the gearbox. It too is a 17. And this is also the same as the drain plug. And you can see it has a bit of fuzz on it, but it's all really small stuff. So we'll clean that off. Washer looks good. It's a good idea to have spares of these. I have a little pile of them under the seat in the sidecar, along with other spares that I'll show you one of these days. Okay, so that's done. Let's grab some oil and we'll start filling her up. For oil, we're using a Motul 7100 2050 four-stroke motor oil, 100% synthetic. Comes in this really kind of cool container. And I'm gonna put 2 of these in. I'm gonna do it kind of slowly. This oil is a beautiful red color. Really nice. And here goes quart number 2. Or a liter, I don't know if it's a quart or a liter. So this is a liter. And once I put 2 in there, then I basically button it up till I start it up, and then I can check the oil level. And for the gearbox, we're going to use Motul Twin 7590 full synthetic. This is the recommended oil for the gearbox, although I've always run this in mine, or some other brand, but it's always been kind of gearbox oil or a mix of gearbox oil and oil. This one you kind of got to put at a weird angle, so you definitely need a funnel. This stuff looks like a regular oil, and of course you got to pour it in slowly. When that is full, it should be right up to the level of the threads for the fill plug. So let's jump back to the differential. Okay, let's take out the filler plug. And for some reason, the only oddball in this whole operation is the filler cap for this, and it requires a 19. I don't know why, just didn't use a 17. Although, this does have a dipstick on it. Now let's slide our catch can in here, and you can see that the drain plug is a little bit close to the tire. So here's what I do. So I just get an old box, flatten it down, And I put it on here to make kind of a dam so that the oil doesn't run onto the rim. Then we pop the drain plug out, which again is a 17 and is exactly the same as every other one. Okay, so we'll let that drip out, put the plug back in, and for the oil that I'm gonna put into the differential, I'm gonna use this. I'm kind of looking forward to this because I have my new differential breather on, so I'm actually gonna put in 110 milliliters. So let's do that. See if I have enough. I'm using this. Goes up to 100, so 110 is gonna be right up to the 1 milliliter mark. Wow, look at that, just enough. Cool. Okay, let's put the plug back in. Okay, the drain plug looked good. The washer and O-ring look good. So I'm just gonna pop this back in real quick. Alrighty, let's take the dipstick out, grab our funnel, and again, 110 milliliters going in. And I'm gonna let that drain out of the cylinder here, since it's a wimpy little 110 milliliters. Okay, let's see what it looks like. Looks good. Can't see it though because it's brand new. 19 millimeter to tighten it up. Okay, well, there you go. The oil has been changed in the engine, the gearbox, and the differential. I think the worst part of an oil change is cleaning up the mess afterward. I will warm up the engine and check the engine oil level. I'm gonna probably have to add some more oil into the gearbox since some of it spilled out, but that's okay. I have another liter of it, and so I should be good. So that's kind of it for today. I will see you next time.